Hey, look at that. It's showtime. Hi, y'all. How are you doing? I'm your host, Emily. Welcome to Creative Block. It's always fun to have y'all here with me. I don't know if you would notice right off the rip, right off the top, but I am sporting a brand new hairdo. I got my hair cut today. Uh, it's been a little bit windy, so the layers are kind of blown around, but I do have some nice framing layers, which is what I was hoping for. So feeling super cute today. The way my hair falls, all the gray is underneath, which is fine. I mean, you can see, oh, more over here. Yeah, it's mainly, no, it's not true. I was gonna say it's mainly on this side, but when he had it flopped over and pinned up, like all of this was gray. So it's just, there's a nice layer of brown, and then, oh, there it is. You can see it sneaking in right in here. There it is. Um, there is plenty of gray, but yeah, flip my hair over the first about quarter inch or so, flip it over, and everything underneath it is gray. It's hilarious, but somehow what shows normally is still the brown. I'm always excited to have my hair done. Always so nice. I get it done about once a year, or maybe once every 2 years, whether it needs it or not. So it was nice to go in there and actually get a specific cut. I'm struggling because it's all going in my mouth. It's layered and things are wispy and can easily be mouth level. So something else to get used to. As for the overall height, we're just down with the curl in it, just about to boob level. I think we were just at the bottom of the bra before, so not too many inches taken off. But now that it's been curled a little bit and cut, it falls a little bit higher. So yeah, that's what I did today. Actually, that's doesn't want to stay behind the ear. Actually, that's sort of the only thing I've accomplished today. I have really been on the struggle bus. The last 5 days, I've been feeling pretty sick. And then it's sort of up and down as to whether I'm like super mucusy and it's, you know, not clear kind of a thing. It just sort of goes back and forth on how I feel and how it seems that I'm doing. Last night it rained very hard. I'm currently sleeping in the sunroom, and that just makes it sound like just constant thunder because I don't know if it's a fiberglass or aluminum roof on it, but you hear everything. If it's a light drizzle, it sounds like it's raining. So when it's raining like it was last night, it is just, it's, it's something to behold. That and the fact that I was coughing a lot, being woken up by the rain and then coughing did not add up to a lot of sleep. And thus, I do not have a lot of motivation today. All that said, I feel pretty. Things are good. And we are here today. We're gathered here today to finish up our friend, the frog. So, I think I have all of the pens lined out here. I think that's all the colors we use, which, as you can tell, is pretty much all of the colors. There's a lighter pink that I don't think we used. The thing is I don't think we need it for the pink. The pink part of the leaf is fine. We're pretty good there. But we have struggled a little bit in the orange with some certain things. I'm not sure that this would work or help, but I was disappointed that the yellower of the pens wasn't all that different than the orange. The stupid phone won't focus very well. I'll bring it up a little bit so maybe you can see a little bit better. But these sort of spots in here are the orange color, this one, and then the rest is all this color. And to my mind, to my eye, this should be a much more yellow and lighter. So it didn't end up with quite the contrast that I wanted, but still we're looking pretty good. I'm kind of just going to do an assessment really quick of our frog and our drawing. Bringing the frog up really big here on my monitor to give it a gander. Ooh, we've got a couple things we need to do on the arm. Got some black that's not accounted for there that we'll probably do with gray. Our highlights are okay. The chest is a little bit light. We need to darken some of that up. The eye is a little bit light. I want to kind of go, it just looks sort of cuter when more of the eye is black. The pupil is a little bit bigger in the photo than in ours. You know, we've got lots of things to do. Let's check in on chat. Stony says, just finished watching a tasting video of 4 Penfolds Shiraz wines from $10 to $500 US. Quite interesting. Would have been nice to taste. That is one, I don't know if we ever did Penfolds, but the tattoo did not get finished, and I do need to get back over to that project. I just haven't had a lot of time to work on things outside of being on air. Lots going on, but no, I did not finish that. I do owe that to Katie, and we'll hopefully get that to her soon. Maybe we'll do another. Maybe we will do that back on Creative Block, because it seems like the only way I can kind of like force that time. Okay, so I'm gonna just dive in here, and we'll just sort of assess and update as we kind of go along. Trying to get some of these, you know, more of these kind of highlights and dark spots set in here. Trying to keep them nice and shiny looking in the midst of all the things. And I want to get, and one of the ways you do that is just by making the contrast between the dark and the light spots. That helps often. And we got to add in some more of our bumpy texture, because he's even bumpy down in here. Frogwarts. What do I want to do here? I want to keep this fairly loose on this edge, because it is just a highlight. It's just a little bit of a thing coming through. We can leave it a little bit lighter back in here towards the arm, because that's kind of accurate, but up here it does get fairly dark and sort of fades in. Let's do this. Let's not have any white showing through in some of these bits, because it's pretty dark in there. Now we were going for a little bit looser look here, but I don't think it's really adding anything, so I'm going to fill in some of the bits there and just go darker. The other thing is the way my monitor looks really affects it, and right now the monitor is really bright. The light above the monitor is really bright, so that's it's adding some extra darkness to it. So just gonna go with what I see and let that be good enough. Adding in some of the texture of the warts, the bumpiness here on the arms, especially down here in the kind of the shadowy, creasy bits. Yeah, that did. We can add some more contrast here in the black to make sure that that nice fade up from the shadow there comes across well. I'm going to add in a little bit more of this black up here, because we do have some black up on the arm, on the just above the elbow, and that gives us that finally gives us our highlight from where he's a bit shiny there. Bit shiny everywhere, isn't he? Sort of blend that in a little bit better. Okay, I'm not going to work in, if you look here on the foot and the knee here specifically, we've got a lot of what looks like red bounce light, maybe from this leaf. And I'm going to ignore that. I'm not going to incorporate that because, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think it's something that I want to do. So we'll just fill in here with some of the gray. I think we're going to be okay with a near solid gray. Maybe up in here, I'll lighten it a little bit. So we get a little bit more of that kind of fade. It doesn't look super solid dark, but just trying to make sure we can get these nice highlights. And this, I'm really intent on making sure that we can get him looking and staying shiny. And now I'm thinking the Moana Jermaine Clement song. The big crab that wanted to be shiny. I don't know what that note was I was trying to hit, but I don't think I got it. Either way, it's all good. I'm just going to talk and be silly. That's all it is. I'm tired. I am loopy. I have been very, just not feeling good. So we're going to be silly today. That's just how it is. We're going to be silly. Yes, Rich, they are in fact Pilot G2. I think I chose the worst one, the least contrast. Pilot G2 ballpoint pens. I really love these gel pens. They're super fun. I don't know what it is, but I just really like the way they glide on, the way they place down the pigment, and just they quickly became favorites. And so when I started drawing, I don't know if you remember last year when I was doing all of those like 15-minute drawing sessions, which incidentally we hope to get back to today when this frog is done. But yeah, those that I was doing on the 4x6 cards, those were all with, mainly all with the black G2 Pilot pen. And yeah, I just decided that this go around I was going to use the colored ones. Once I kind of fell in love with them, I started to find them in the different colors, and that was it. It was over. I bought a whole ton of them when I was in Seattle. And I was actually kind of bummed because I was having a really hard time finding them in Tasmania. But I think I eventually found some. It was just hard to spend a lot of money on a bunch of them, because when I found them in Seattle, they were on like clearance. And so I bought like 3 or 4 12 or 16 packs. So I'd spend a sizable amount of money on just pens, and then I moved to Australia, and I'm like, I want my pens. I didn't actually ship them because I thought that would be very silly to spend a lot of money on hauling pens around. But I needed them. I needed my pens. I also, one of the silly things I did, when I went to Australia, I took one of my favorite spatulas. It's a wooden bamboo one, and for some reason I just really love that spatula, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm taking this with me. That was by far the silliest thing I moved. I'd love it if Alexis was on to find out if there's anything that she moved that she moved to Australia that was equally silly. All right, I don't know if you're noticing this here, but this is highlighting some very big flaws in our placement of our leaf, the little rays in our leaf here, and it's kind of going to screw up the perspective of my leg here. I'm gonna have to hope that I can kind of fudge this, because I'm seeing that, yeah, I almost kind of screwed the pooch there on this one pretty bad. I think we're gonna be able to save it. I'm just gonna do a good estimate of what this is. I spent way too much time last time trying to get where all of these blue lines are, a little too perfectly, and we're just going to go a lot looser and kind of get it done right now. So we're already kind of backed into a little bit of a corner with it, and that's fine. Ooh, this teal pen is so dark. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. And we'll fix it later with black over the top of it. And we'll just do, let's see, coming off of the bottom here, coming off of the heel, I guess. Yes, the heel of it. I'm having a hard time like discerning what's what and what's where. We're gonna put a little bit more blue through the big toe here. Kind of get that ready, and then we're gonna do a lot down here into the sort of the crease between the toes. Let me know out there in chat how your day's been. What we talked about how I got my hair done. What have y'all been up to? What's been going on? Anything fun and exciting in your day? Now, see, the way I've done this is because I don't have variation in my blues. I kind of only have the one blue. And if I do like this, like in here using there and kind of in there, if I leave the pen in one place too much and kind of fill it in, like it gets really dark really fast. And that's sort of the big challenge of this drawing is maintaining the maintaining the um the highlights, the lights and darks well. And that's where you struggle with using ink just to begin with, is like, yeah, it's very difficult. I'm just real quick gonna respond uh, to Dresden Media in the Twitch chat. I'm working on freelance stuff at the present. Not an exciting day at work. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thank you. Yeah, Rich says that the detail on the drawing is impeccable. That's one thing you can definitely count on from me, is high level of detail. We're just hoping to maintain a good bit of accuracy as well. And there's some spots where it's holding up, and other spots where it could use a little improvement. So for next time, this was not intended to be a drawing of this level of detail and filling in. I wanted it to be color, and I sort of haven't figured out how to fill in a drawing with lots of color without it being, this much ink, this much time invested. And here we are. We're gonna we have to be really creative with how we pull this toe out from the background, because in the photo we've got the blur, and that is a skill that I need to also get better at, like working in some nice blur. So what we'll do is we'll actually give it a black outline, and we'll do it in a creative way so that it's not just like truly outlined, but ends up with an outline. If you understand what I'm saying there. If you can catch my drift. And we're going to do the same with this toe a little bit, give it some shadowing to make sure that it jumps off of the background nicely. There's our gray. We're going to put the kind of bottom part of the little toe here, give it a little bit more presence. And then we're really going to hit the black in the background on this leg to make sure that we stand out off of that. Even in some more shadowing in the blue here. Just make everything behind this sort of recede a little bit into the background with by just making it a little bit darker. And sort of creating that creating that black outline without actually just making a outline. We're going to kind of roll this over there because that's actually kind of happening in the photo. And then use the black kind of quickly, stipply, to create some of that bumpy texture that we're still not really getting in this section very much. We'll add that in and make sure that those shadows are present and look pretty good. Working in pen, that's sort of where it's important to kind of work lightly and you know, sort of gently, and come back in with multiple layers to get the darkness and the depth that you want, instead of just going on really hard, because they're very unforgiving, very, very unforgiving. How are we doing here? Drink not so expensive Pinots for your birthday, or no, pennies, Penfields. Okay. It is, I don't know what day it is. What day is it today? Oh, today's the 24th. It has been a week since Charlotte's birthday. Everybody wish her a happy belated birthday. I'm going to do a little bit of the blue here. Because there's some in there. We're going to do some on the side of this toe. And some on the side of this toe. But it sort of overlaps the highlight a little bit. So that's a little ruggly. But we do have a nice solid highlight on this toe that we're not going to get because we're sort of out of room here. Yeah, this toe is really going to kind of disappear into the backdrop on this one a little bit. We can kind of save some of it, but for the most part, yeah, went a little bit heavy on that and kind of lost it. All right, so let's do, looks more like the toenail on this one that's kind of gotten the dark bit. And we'll try and do a little bit of that same cheat around here and give the background some shadowing the other arms and the bits, so that where our toes are at really stands out. We won't have any modeling in there. We'll just fill it all in solid so that that definitely recedes to the background. And we'll color in as much around this toe and the foot as we can to kind of, you know, cheat a little bit. We're just cheating. When you're the artist, you get to make all kinds of decisions to make things work out the best way for you. All right, and we'll give some darkness in here from the palm of the foot. The palm? What is the little meaty bit, like the archway of the foot, I guess? Like what is the bottom of a foot when you have a prehensile foot? Although mine is fairly prehensile. I can grab stuff with it. Yeah, I'm going to just do that same thing. I'm just going to go pretty solid black near the edge of the toes to really pull those forward. And we'll go dark on the blue. All right. Okay. Let's see. On what y'all see, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna add a little bit more depth and darkness in here. Whoops. Don't go onto the toe. And this is a little bit too bright and does that still look like a toe? It's very difficult. It's quite difficult, but we're gonna say it's okay. We're gonna say it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's move over to this toe. Get a little bit of our blue in there. Like I said, we'll build up to the dark this way. Let's see what we got. We got some dark bit there. Nice dark bit around the pad. The pad's mostly pretty dark. We can go pretty solid with that. Not really any highlight there. Really dark. And this part, getting a little bit of some translucence on the bottom. Not really sure how important it is to kind of represent that, but you know, we'll just kind of do what feels good in the moment. I'm gonna give a little bit of an outline here. Probably shouldn't do it with the black. I'm gonna go with it anyways. We have a little bit of color in there. Maybe we add a little bit of the... See, now in here, I'm like, we need to add some of that red in there because the toes just have so much of the red in them. Feels kind of silly not to have any of it in there. All right. I'm going to let that be for a minute and kind of step away from it. We're going to get back into filling in the leaf a little bit. That was the last thing we were doing last time. I'm going to go very representational with this and get something similar with the striping, the lining that's happening there. Not kind of following the curve the right way, so we can do a little bit better job of that now. As I can follow my own lines. Then we get a little bit more kind of straighter in here. And the cool bit is getting in the shadow of our frog here, getting in the shadow of his hands. It's a little weird. It looks very, very detached from his arm, doesn't it? And we'll come back in with the darker green and get a little bit more of that, but yeah, the shadow is going to be a pretty cool bit to work in. All of a sudden the pen doesn't want to go the way I want it to. It's more just my hand than anything. We'll work in a little bit of an edge so we don't keep bleeding into the pink, even though it's not. The fold over bit seems to be where there's the most highlight. I don't want it to be very dark there, but it's okay. It's going to be more representational than strictly accurate. I think we've done a really good job of getting the frog really close anyways, so I think it's fine. Freehanding, working fairly quickly. Not super quick, but not spending a lot of time on proportions and getting all that stuff just dialed in and perfect. We're still keeping it a bit loose. Now that we've got a shadow established, I can actually do this and not have to worry about the starting point of the pen. For some reason, when you're doing this, that starting point is always darker. Oop, no, don't pull up the page. And so since we have a shadow to come out of, it's more okay. Ah, keep hitting it. Keep hitting the edge of the page. Lift the pen up, hon. Lift it up. Lift it. Pick it up. Ooh, I got a text message. From my bank account? Ugh, scary. Ah, I got paid. Good. Not scary. Good things. I'm not going to worry about the underleaf texture. You can see there's, it's not just lines, it's those bands of like kind of bumpy texture that are doing these little curves. And I'm not really going to worry about that. I'm just going to get the color in here. We just need them to sit on a nice green, leafy surface. Another text. I'm very popular all of a sudden. I wonder if that's about karaoke tonight. Hopefully we'll get lots of fun people coming to karaoke tonight. I enjoy doing that. I feel like I decided on a new, on some songs to do. Because last time I went, I just really wasn't feeling it very much. Didn't feel very well. Tonight, I'm not sure what I'm going to feel up to, but hopefully I'll be in a really good singing mood, because I do enjoy it when I do. Anybody else out there like doing karaoke? Is that something you find fun? I've just always been the type to sing in the car and in the shower. And for some reason, I guess part of that was always wanting a little bit of a venue to do it at. And oh boy, am I terrible. But we do have a lot of fun. We do have lots and lots of fun. Surprise, I'm going to admit this, but one of the things that I do like to do every great once in a while, because it's still fairly embarrassing, is I do have access to the old deep and kind of screamier voice. Some of the stuff is gone, but I still have pretty good access to it. Um, and I can do a mean Du Hast. I know like 90% of the German in Rammstein's Du Hast. And it's just super fun to sing in German. It's just a really cool feeling to be able to do that. So I really enjoy doing that song from time to time when I'm feeling particularly good about myself and not worrying about dysphoria too much. Emily the Metalhead. Do you not know this about me, Rich? Yes, I'm quite the metalhead. One of my favorite recent albums is Falling in Reverse's Popular Monster. That album is great. The album's really good. There are some great songs on it. But yeah, that's pretty hardcore and not too far from a lot of my stuff. One of the things I've really liked, so I've also gotten into, I've finally kind of allowed myself and gotten into the poppy, the girlier poppy stuff, like Chappell Roan and Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, who else? Sia, things like that. And I've been listening to a ton of that. And then my friends turned me on to I think they accidentally came across Spiritbox, which is sort of like a hardcore female fronted band. And between that one and Cami Kehoe, who I discovered previously, I've got like some good kind of harder female led rock stuff finally in my playlist that I'm going through, and that's been really fun to find and get into. Loving the badass female singers just belting it out and screaming themselves. Pretty rad. All right, how is this looking? I'm having fun doing this. Does it look? Quit pulling up the page. Does it look like worth half of a crap? Let's see on camera how it looks. It looks pretty good, and there's a good bit of depth happening here. We're going to add in, we're going to try this. I don't know how well this is going to go, because I don't know how dark this brown is, but we're going to try working in some of these like shadow spots. Not bad at all. Not bad. We do have some shadow of the pink from above happening here. Can we blend this in kind of nicely? Blend this in somewhat. It's gonna be pretty dark. Let's try this. Let's work in. Those the same color? They are. There's those two. Okay, yeah. Let's work in this other pink and see if that kind of does what we need. And it does. Perfect. Perfect. Good bleed through version of the pink color. Nice. And we'll just try and get some of that kind of blurred edge sort of vibe happening over here. Pretty cool. We're a little heavy with our green here, so we're not going to get a good kind of pinky bleed through, but it'll be okay. It's a problem once you get kind of anal about representing the thing very well, it's hard to kind of let that go in spots and be more representational than literal. So that's kind of where I'm at now, where it's like, what are we thinking here? We got some dark spots in here too. We'll hit it with a lot of our colors. Probably the maroon, I think, is going to be our big one. Hello. I'm not getting anything out of that. You don't want to go on top of this? All right, fair enough. Yeah, you're just like, it's too wet there. I don't want to go on there. It's too wet. Does the brown do anything? No, brown's not dark enough. I don't want to hit anything darker. Let's see if this green, the darker green, does bad things or if it's nice. The problem is it's a little too much of a different color. So it's a lot bluer. But hopefully we can come back and just work in a little bit of the brown and make it work better for us. I think I can hear the cat through the wall tearing up my couch. That's fun. That's fun. Yeah, it's got a lot of it's got a lot of blue qualities to it. I'm gonna go leave the pen head down and do a lot of filling in. Ooh, just got dark outside all of a sudden. Got some pretty big clouds coming through, it looks like. Ah, darn it. Nope, stop it. All right, let's give you... We got a couple spots in there, so we'll work that in. And we'll try and get some of this shadowing in pretty good. Frog shadow. Getting very, very detailed and specific with the shadowing colors here. It's going to need a lot of the green over top of it to look right. Let's see. Time to take a pause again and see what we really think of this. Is this working? Is our technique looking good here? Are we solid on this? It's fine. I'm getting some weirdness in these spots here and trying to see if we can kind of blend them out a little bit more and kind of keep on our aesthetic. Gonna add in some brown down over here. Fill in a little bit more of the green for the shadowing, and then definitely come in with some brown. Add the darkness. Maybe a little bit of the green too. Of the darker green. Because this bit right in here is all much darker. Where does it go to? It kind of comes up to here and there. And we'll get the shadow from the hand a little bit. And yeah, we're going to come back with our lighter green a little bit and a little bit of brown. Add some consistency through this, but I think we're looking pretty good so far. And where does that? It just starts to sort of blend all up into here. So we got to make sure that there's not much highlight in here because we don't want our shadows to look weird and miss some of the frog body cast. But we're pretty much there. I do, there is a spot I want to hit up here on top. Oh, sorry, I moved it a little bit over. We don't have the reddish shadowing there that we sort of we went pretty brown with that. But we'll figure that out. I think the shadowing is almost done. We'll just add some brown in to add some consistency a little bit, and then we can move on. Finish up that spot on the nose and call it done. I need to check the time and see how we're doing. I wanted to kind of finish this up fairly quickly in about a half hour or an hour and switch over to doing some of the 15-minute drawings again. I've really, really wanted to get back to that, and I missed that a lot, and that's important for me to start doing again. These detailed things are nice, but I'm trying to get myself in practice of being faster. A little bit more disciplined, a little bit more kind of quick decisions on treatments, textures, all that kind of stuff, and just move through. All right, we've got a pretty good shadow there. It ends a little bit too early. I might want a little bit more in here. It's sort of an odd highlight here as we don't quite touch the pink with our darker spots. So we can come back in and purposely fill that in a little bit. Oh, if the pen wants to do it. Maybe it doesn't. Again, give us some more kind of natural feeling delineation between those without having to do just a strict like black line. I do want a little bit more separation there. It's saying spam risk, but it's coming up with an 805 number, which is local. So I'm thinking that that is something I should pay attention to at some point, but for now I'm fine. Don't care. There we go. That's how we'll do it. Just go hard with the darker green. Perfect. I love that. Okay. So let's get our little bit of a nose highlight here and see what we think. Do have some kind of stray lines there that we need to cover over a bit. I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to raise this bump up a little bit. Yeah. We'll just kind of see if we can hit this kind of hard. And I said, I think that we used a lot of brown in this before. Whew. These pens are not liking going on top of each other. The problem is I just did the orange, so it does kind of make sense. It's just like, oh, like it's already wet there. I just don't want to do it. Cute little dimple highlight there. I'm gonna fill in a little bit more of this nose, a little bit more solid. And there's a little bit of highlighting in there, but I think we'll be okay. On this a little bit more, make that a little darker. We do have a nice solid white highlight there that we'll leave. Kind of fill this in a little bit more. We'll keep a little bit of a highlight there, but not as strong. Okay. There are squirrels fighting on top of my sunroom roof right now. I can hear them. Somebody just made a heck of a protest noise. Like a, hey, back off. Leave me alone. Squirrel fights are pretty serious. Gotta watch out for them. Let's see what's going on in chat. Love the eye detail. Well, thank you so much. I was going to work on that. Now I'm seeing the pupil is a little bit misshapen. I was actually planning to kind of darken it up a little bit more, but I appreciate that you like the detail. We're just gonna smooth it out a little bit. Get rid of a little bit of the contrast. Let's do a nice hard edge. Nice black line around that to really shore up the eye shape. Without losing that highlight there, without losing our round shape. Definitely without losing the highlight there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Maybe we'll do a little bit more contrast on some parts of the mouth crease there. Especially up here where we go underneath. What do we think about in here? I think we could get a little bit darker, but I don't think there's too much we need to do. Got our toe there. Pull the toe off of the rest of the foot a little bit. I don't know, y'all. I'm looking at this and I don't see a lot that I feel like needs to be messed with or tweaked. I think we can call this one done. Oh, shoot, sorry. Yeah. It's frogging awesome. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah. Excuse me, coughing on stream. Yeah, so what do y'all think in chat? Are we done? I think we're done. I think particularly in here we got some good shadowing. We got some of the other stuff. We didn't get many of these spots. Let's get a little bit more of these spots in here of the leaf. Definitely want to go over the shadow with the spot because the spot would be underneath where the frog is standing. I'll just throw some in intermittently in between just to get the idea of the spots on the leaf that are clearly separate from the frog and their shadow. Do we need another spot up here? It's interesting, if you'll notice in the photo, there's actually spots on the top of the leaf kind of shining through, and there are spots underneath. So, do you see my mouse if I move it? No. Do you see? No, you don't. Okay. But, just sort of between the two toes. Oh, I can do it right here. Derp. On the photo, between this toe and this toe, like right here, this set of spots is actually on the underside because it's really bright. Whereas spots in here and down here by this toe are showing through the leaf and thus are more blurry and muted. But I think that gives the impression of a spotted leaf. Well, we'll just make sure that we do the green on there and I like it. All right. Do we sign it? Okay, so I've got 3 ideas for signature. I would say either sign it in the blue, the orange, or the bright pink. So the blue would be a nice, and I'm going to sign it down here. The orange ties in, but there's not really a balance back this way. The blue sort of balances a little bit more of that. And then the pink is a fun, keeps the pink all along the bottom, which could be kind of nice. Do y'all have a preference? Pink, teal, or orange for the signature? Not everybody all at once. I'm having a hard time tracking chat. Got this new hairdo and I have it all behind my ears. Ooh, it's looking very Rachel now. Now that it's sort of like settling down, now that's not like having a lot of body, my hair just really settles. It doesn't keep a lot of curl to it. It's wavy, but it doesn't like stay super curly. But yeah, I'm feeling very Rachel-y with this one now. Charlotte says teal. I think that might be my front runner as well. Rich, do you have a color preference? I know you're working on other things, so you're kind of bouncing in and out. Maybe calling your names. Stony Man, what's your color? Who else is here? Oh, I don't want to be a gossip, but I want to talk about Raina. I wish she was here so she could talk about what happened. Teal is confirmed. We've got a second vote for teal. And that's it. That's enough for me. I need to get our toes erased here. I went a little bit hard on the pencil for the toes. So getting that off is a little bit more difficult than I'd like it to be. Looks like we did okay there, though. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Now I'm all self-conscious about signing my name. Hold on a second. What's that? No. I don't have... I need more scrap paper here. There we go. I don't know why. I was just, like, nervous about signing my name. We said it was 9:24. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Print it. Cool. All right. The frog is done. Ooh, that that page is warpy. Can you see it? It seems no, doesn't seem that warpy on your end. No. On my end, it sort of seems to. A lot of ink at that bottom bit. We're just gonna gently flip. There we go. Can we get it? Okay, we got her flipped. Okay. And see, I always intend to be more mindful of this. Okay. Let's get some ideas for what to draw next. We're going to switch to, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. I have about a half hour left. So I'm actually going to go on a quick break and come back, and we'll draw for the half hour. I think I'm gonna try and see if I can get 2 drawings in that time. There's a call from Murray, Utah. Definitely don't need to pick that one up. So I need some animals. Let me know what animals y'all are feeling for our quick ones. And I don't have any of the old drawings to show you. I used to work on 4x6 colored cards and would pick an animal. I don't have any of the 4x6 cards handy right now. We'll just do it on the white paper here. I don't think I'm going to try doing 2 up anymore. I want to make it easier to pull these out and frame or give to people because I don't want to waste these. So let me know what animal y'all are thinking next. We have done a unicorn, we have done a wolf, and we've done a frog. We've also done, ooh, a hedgehog. Nice. There we go. Yeah, okay, a hedgehog. There it is. We've done a phoenix. That's on this show so far. In the past, we have done a baby hyena, which is my favorite ever. Ooh, I don't remember. Was it a crocodile or an alligator? I think it was a crocodile. We did a horse, a long-haired horse, duck, Madison. But what the 4x6s, what did we do? So, okay. Oh, no. So we did the 4x6s. There was another unicorn in the 4x6s. There was the baby hyena, ringed seal. I think it was a ringed seal. The crocodile. What else was there? Emily's going blank. You know what would also be super fun? Oh, a wombat. Oh yeah. Oh, so sad. I think that one's a little bit fresh, so maybe we'll do a wombat soon. I'm gonna take Rich's suggestion and do a hedgehog. You know, same family, different continent. I'm gonna do a hedgehog, and I might consider doing a moose because I have never drawn a moose, and that would be fun. So let's do, I think this is our break screen, and I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm back. A hedgehog. Let's see what we can do for a hedgehog here. Oh, the streams are way behind. That's fine. There we go. There I am. Okay. We can. Well, we'll leave the frog where he's at because we'll eventually move it there. Okay. So going back here, turning off our froggy and turning back on our display capture, which is grabbing this display. As long as I keep it within the frog, we should be pretty good here. So I'm going to move this over here. We'll leave it in about that amount of space. Size it to the same size as that. I think that works. Hedgehog. Now, I mean, granted, I could do a certain hedgehog and just shortcut it. It's been a very long time since I've drawn Sonic, but I don't think it would be... All right, I'm making myself a challenge. Draw Sonic the Hedgehog. All right. Oh, hold on. So we're going to put the real hedgehogs... we're going to put the real hedgehogs aside for a second. I'm going to find just sort of some silly part of a page that's open. There's the Phoenix, Monkey and the Mermaid stuff. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I'll just do it. Well, my brother's... Oh, here we go. There's a spot. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. Long time since I've drawn Sonic the Hedgehog. Long time since I've drawn a circle, apparently. Oh, not that eraser. Ugh. Don't look, Rich. It's embarrassing. It's a very, very sad circle. You're supposed to be able to, as an artist, as a designer, to do a circle pretty easy out of kind of full arm muscle memory, like I just did there. Shit. Now I'm picturing Mickey Mouse's nose a little bit. I think if I remember right, it's sort of, you just come up off of there like this. Oh, actually, it's backwards from what I thought. Let's see. God, I don't remember what his nose looks like. And I'm gonna say about here. Did he have a neck? I think he's got a little bit of a neck. What are his hands like? They're very much the Mickey Mouse hands with the big hole. Oh, I should have had his arm up looking at his watch. That's a funny bit of the thing. So he's got his arm up like that. Let's do that. We'll do this one out and up. His goofy ass pointy shoes. This looks so bad. This is great. This is wonderful. Which have some kind of buckle stripe, I think, here. But they are pointy red shoes. And the eyes are at the bottom, I think. And there is a very terrible, from memory, from fucking 20, 30 years ago, Sonic the Hedgehog, as I used to draw. I used to draw him, and I think he's got some fins on his back too. I think he's got two of them. Don't remember if he's got a tail. He does have a belly. And it does not look like that at all, but there is a very bad, very, very bad Sonic the Hedgehog. All the proportions are wrong. Much, much bigger. Oh, that's right. Oh, is the belly round? Is the belly round in the OG? Maybe that's it. Yeah. Huh. I'm not seeing a neck. There's no neck. Did get the hands mostly right, even though I really kind of kept it simple on my thing. But yeah, yeah, see the oh, there we go. There we go. There's OG Sonic. This is the one that I would have used to draw from. Oh, much, much smaller eyes. Yeah. You got to get the eyes right. I got to fix it now. Oh, and there's no thing that goes between the eyes. It's just the nose come up. Not quite that much of a nose. Still terrible. Whatever. Let it go, Em. Anyways. Oh, and his ears. I forgot his damn ears. He's got ears. There we go. Now it looks like Sonic. Well, that was fun. God, it's terrible. You see why I don't do cartoons, y'all? You see why I draw, like, renderings? Why I go very detailed and realistic? Didn't catch the cartoon gene. That's what Rich is all about, not me. And just so you know, I was talking to Rich, and it looks like he is going to be on the show soon. I guess in October. We've worked it out. So, yeah, stay tuned for more information on that. But we'll get some fun 3-for-all going, which is his game where we work on 3 prompts from the audience: an animal, an occupation, and a vehicle. and draw out of our brains. Or we could do something else. We could do some other kind of drawing challenge. If you have any other games that you can suggest, Rich, or anybody in the audience. Yeah, anybody in the audience can suggest. And yeah, suggest games, and we will have Rich on the show soon. We used to do that a lot in the Builder's Block days. No, was it for Builder's Block? That doesn't make sense. I guess on the holiday specials, huh? When did I have you on? I felt like I had you on multiple times. One of them is actually in this sketchbook. There is somewhere in here is an otter in the role of Robin Hood riding a vacuum cleaner. Can I find him? Was that him? No, that was a duck. Where is Otter Robin? Okay, I just flipped. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, I got right to him. That is my submission from a game of an otter that was a bandit riding a vacuum cleaner. I spelled Nottingham wrong, but the Nottingham vacuum and sewing was my favorite particular creative spark on that one. I was really proud of that. All right. Oh, it was the Kimsey benefit. Yes, yes. Crocodile and a hurricane. I don't even remember. I don't know if I did anything for Crocodile and a Hurricane. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean for the stream to show up there and I'll get all weird. Get all weird. I don't know about y'all. I can't imagine wanting to do a hedgehog and getting beyond this one. This one is too cute. Although, our friend over here, sorry, let me move you. They're both so adorables. I think I want to do the straight on face. I like the contrast more here that this one's got going on. I'm going to try doing three colors. And let's go. Who's got a color? What kind of color do you want to see? Yes, Sonic is like Mickey Mouse, only pointier. There's a lot of yeah, a lot of borrowing, let's say, in the Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, we could do, I don't want to do brown. I'm kind of thinking purple for this guy. We have a couple purples. Unless someone's got another color they want to see. I think we're gonna go with purple. I think we're doing this hedgehog, and we're doing purples for our color. No? Ah, there you go. Cool, cool, cool. Plaid, not helpful, not helpful. Plaid's not a color. It's a type of paint, obviously, from if you've watched any Looney Tunes cartoons. Plaid is a paint, but it's not a color. Look, I mean, just before I shrink this down, look at his little toes. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine that those are very functional. They look so silly. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to do my usual and start out with the face a little bit, and then we'll move as quickly as we can with this. Let's do eyeball. No, those are too close together. I think we've got some room over here to the left to do this. Eyeball. Nose. chin, fingers. And our branch goes off to the left a little bit, so we'll do this a little bit lower. Let's see, hold on. The nose is there. This is the bottom here, and then, yeah, it's more up there. I think that's fine. I don't think I have a problem with that. With a little tuft of hair, we would do an ear about there, and an ear about there. What are we looking at here? Nothing. There's not a whole ton to kind of reference off of. That's sort of, well, the hand is in the middle of the ear, so about there. We're saying that that's that, and that's here. Yeah, I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. All right, let's see what we can do here. This is going to be fun and spikely. Spikely? Hello, how are you doing? Taking off, Stony Man? Oh, yeah, well, you got to see how the frog turned out, and then we will, yeah, I'll show you, I'll show you the hedgehog soon. That Jane Doe. Here is where we started. We finished off the frog that we were working on last week. So he's done. And now we're moving on to a drawing that we have, let's see. Shit. 7 minutes. So we have 7 minutes, and I just yelled at you. I'm so sorry. Did not mean to yell. Okay, yeah, he's got a very... Oof, okay, he's got a very, very light head here. We're going to do some hair and some different stuff coming up this way on the ear. And then we kind of go that way a bit. Problem is with a drawing stream with Emily where it's very quick and very focused. Those can be difficult because getting Emily to focus can be harder to do. I know we had said, I think early on, that Jane Doe, we had been sharing your name. I don't know if that's something that you actually want on stream, so I'm going to refrain from doing that. We'll just use your username. But I will say to those out there in the audience, that Jane Doe, very, very good artist in her own right. I've seen a little bit of her work, and yeah, very, very talented. So always wonderful having a fellow artist in the chat. Always adds a little bit of kind of a nerve-wracking aspect to it, of like, oh, I need to be good because there's someone who knows what they're doing in chat. Not saying that you're judgy, but it just that's where our negative brains go so much of the time, right? Okay, that's good enough. I'm not worried about it being too perfect. This is supposed to be a 15-minute drawing. It needs to be closer to 7 today, which really sucks because I'm gonna have to get into the mode very fast and out of it and on with my life. And so that's difficult. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get back into a drawing of this type at another time, because yeah, that just sounds very, very difficult. You got to get into a certain mode to work fast like this, and stopping and then starting again another day, that sounds really difficult. But one of the things we're doing on this show is trying to take on new challenges. Well, that didn't work worth a shit at all. I'm not really happy with that at all. Okay. But yeah, we're just trying to work on some new challenges and do some new things. And one of the big things is, yeah, that frog we just got done with was extremely detailed, very rendered, and we're trying to actually, on this show, kind of get back into the habit of doing quicker stuff. So that one kind of didn't work, did it? One there, kind of, and we're going to go up this way, that one. All right. Our nose is going to be about here. Madison's cat, every once in a while, when he wants some attention or whatever, or wants something, I don't really quite know what it is or what the trigger is, but we'll go into this thing where he actually says hello. Hello? And it's so funny to hear him, like, 'cause he'll say it a couple times until he gets a really good one that really sounds like hello. And it's really kind of eerie hearing a cat say something that sounds actually like words. And unfortunately, if you reply to him and say hello back, he just shuts up and doesn't say anything else. So you just kind of got to let him and just sit there and kind of laugh quietly in amazement. All right, and let's get some line in here to add some darkness. And some kind of the, the cross-hatching, the light line work on the pen just is harder some days than others. I was saying that it was very difficult. That was what I was trying to go with that sentence. And as I'm doing it, it's actually working pretty freaking well. So I'm going to quit complaining, or could continue complaining, because that's what made it work, I guess. I don't know. Hit a little bit of an outline here, not too much. I don't want that. We'll get some of this hair in here around the face. Around the eyes. We'll go up around this eye here, get that kind of shadow and eyebrow kind of thing happening. Some of this color into here. I need to turn it a little bit, sorry y'all. Getting text messages. I wonder if anybody needs me. It is Raina, my assistant. So we need to kind of make sure we're getting this little bit here. And we get very dark under in here, obviously. A little bit of a split for the lip. A little bit of shadow under the nose. Shadow under the nose. Definitely got a kind of a dark triangle there. As we get to our mouth. And the nose. Okay, and then we do just definitely want to shadow that pretty good and let that bit in the middle there be nice and white. some more like eyebrowy type of stuff we need to do here. I don't think so. I'm going to do a little bit more color up in here. Let's get our ears in nice. They're a little fuzzy on the edges, but I think I can do that this way. See what kind of shape do we want here. We got a little bit of a roundy bit there, kind of comes out and then comes down in about like there. We'll come in from that edge a little bit. A little too dark. Didn't want it that heavy, but it's okay. Trying to follow the line of the hair that's actually in the ear. Got our fuzzy little ears. Come in from the edge a little bit. I'm having a hard time breathing right now. I'm kind of holding my breath. Freaks me out a little bit. Still, I think that's okay. I think that's all right. I'm not getting the color variation very well in there, but maybe we can kind of come back and get that in later. We also have a darker purple pen that we could come back in if we really needed to. I still want to have some of these white hairs going over top of it, and then have that color variance from the inside to the outside. Over here. All right, what is our time at? Oh, we're over time. Damn it. I'm just at least going to do this ear because I need to make sure I match it as well as possible. Come on. I hope this is looking like the other ear did. I hope this is working. Feels a little different, so I'm just sort of wondering if my technique is varying a little bit more than I meant it to from side to side. And then, yeah, we'll do some thicker bits in there and kind of follow. A little harder time on this one, letting some of the light hairs come into it because I'm getting a little bit worried about my time as I'm already over. Your feet are so fucking cute. God dang it. Friggin' adorable. Little bitty crowns. And let's see, can we get a little bit of your chin going under here too? And there's the big tuft under here that will kind of flesh in really kind of quickly. The dark bit under there. A bit of an arm. All right, I got to put the pen down and move on. Got to go to my next thing. Y'all, it's been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and watching me struggle with a couple things and with staying focused and getting things done in time. We'll make this into a hedgehog next time. Right now, it's some kind of fuzzy creature, but definitely does not have the required things for being a hedgehog, namely the big ol' spikes. And how are we going to do those? It's going to be a hell of a challenge, but we will finish it up next time on Creative Block, which is next Wednesday. Same time, same channel, the twitch.tv/thetransverse, youtube.com/thetransverse, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you very soon. Bye, y'all.